Now it's about to be day 12. I was taking out Poland yesterday. You can see here Warsaw is on fire. And I'm like, what am I doing? Now, one person, who I will not name, alleged that the Southern Coalition was colluding with them. Now, he didn't give me proof, but the collusion was to take out the Central Powers. Now, we're an obvious kill target. So I thought, why not make this more interesting for the movie? So here's the plan. So we have Finland, Russia, and the Caucasus in a coalition already. We have East Libya and Spain in a coalition already. What I've told them is on day 14, it'll be day 12 in a couple hours. They have time to prepare, but they can attack anyone else they want, right? Caucasus is moving here. I see Spanish boats probably going to England. But at day 14, they can rush Central Europe and duke it out and be the last people standing. But with one caveat, they have to give me this island. I'm building a capital here, and you're going to give me shared map. Now, some people have already given me shared map, and I've told them they could declare war on me later, but that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to film and record these final coalition people fighting. Now, I've actually listed rules in the newspaper, and we can quickly go over them. So 1, continue any wars you're currently in. 2, don't attack Italy, Germany, and Austria until day 14. So both teams can prepare. Germany and Austria agreed to go AFK. I'll act AFK too. 3, Spain and Libya can add another active player to their team. 4, Russia, Finland, and the Caucasus can finish fighting Ukraine. Ukraine did a great job, by the way, holding them off. I'll cover that at the end. 5, I'll be left on the island of Cagliari. Give me share map and I'll record and referee the fight. I won't share your information to the other team. 6, anyone who is not in a team can still do whatever they want as long as they don't break the original rule. 7, message me, email me, or comment me if you have a question. So there we go. Now you can see Ukraine still held up here in Kharkov, their capital. Against 3 people, they killed pretty well. Now, I didn't get shared maps, so I didn't see all the fighting. I saw Finland go in, and then Finland having to retreat. And then Russia came in, and the Caucasus came in, and Ukraine was just bouncing around until he ended up in his capital. This will be more interesting than the corner teams fighting. The Germans had a mishap here at sea and lost their army. It happens. UK was pretending to be AFK, but he wasn't. He did a good job, actually, being silent and still. And then right when Germany was disembarking, it's like, boom, I gotcha. He has an artillery too. We don't even have an artillery. That's how badly the fight with France stalled us. So I thought this would be more interesting. And that way I can keep this island and I could document the 2 teams fighting each other and see how that goes. All right, we have a day and 3 hours before Central Powers can be rushed. Now I've changed the colors of the maps. But you can see here are the teams. We have Spain and East Libya. UK might join them, so that'll bring some flavor because the UK left his coalition, Greenland, and then there's Finland, Russia, and the Caucasus. Now they're still fighting in Ukraine right here. They're still wrapping that up. But I was thinking now that they gave me shared map, we can go over their initial strategies. So we're testing this out. They agreed to not take this island right here. So I have some infantry. I'm building my capital. I have a cruiser. We're just going to be hanging out. But oh, look, Toho. This is one of the 2 reasons why I was just going to get BTFO'd. I don't have Toho. Actually, there's 3 reasons. But you can see the Toho here. You can see Caucasus Toho. And being Italy with your 2 double resource provinces and your capital right on the coast, you're just in trouble. If they were here, maybe Toho couldn't hit it because the range might not be enough. But if it's right here, you're in trouble. And Rome is right here, so I'm in trouble. It's amazing what people do when you pivot to something like this. I thought people would rush Central Europe, but I told them everyone else is free game. East Libya is going to Arabia and the Caucasus is going into Arabia. Now, if we look at the Caucasus, who they're at war with, they're not at war with East Libya yet. So they have not started fighting each other. They're allowed to. The new rules state they can, but that hasn't happened yet. You can see Spain's troops, if I were to double click them, you can see where they're all going, that they're rushing out into the sea. I don't know if he thinks having Toho there will provide enough strength, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Will the Caucasus come down? We'll find out. Since you can attack anyone but Germany, Austria, and Italy until day 14, I would have taken out France here, and I would have taken Romania right here, get a bridgehead into Europe. They do have a lot of troops though, but that's what Toho's for. You have Toho and a cruiser. This is a pivot, but this is a problem. No one's fault who uses them, but that's a problem. That's way too early to be coming out at day 12 with that kind of range, because you outrange artillery. And if you outrange artillery, you have to have either Air Force, which no one's going to have at day 12, or should have at day 12, or submarines, which again, that's really hard to build, and a cruiser. A cruiser's going to struggle against Toho. You can beat them, but it's going to struggle if you do it right. So that's what Spain's doing. Now, I've looked at Spain's economy. Spain's doing quite well. They have a lot of factories getting built. This one's already level 4, and he's going straight to heavy tanks. He already has some artillery on the field, and he's building up the cavalry and food production. When we look at the newspaper, we could see East Libya and Spain have the two biggest armies. So Russia, Finland, and the Caucasus really need to step up their game. I was hoping that this peace period would hold off Spain just rushing us, since he has no one to fight right now besides Portugal, and give the Eastern team time to take out Ukraine and then prepare to dive in here. Now let's look at East Libya. So if I double click East Libya's troops, you can see, oh yeah, where are they? They're obviously right here. Now this isn't bad. Hindsight and being able to see everyone's vision, we should see what East Libya is building, because I was looking at Spain, and Spain is not building a navy. Yes, Spain has Toho, but he has no navy. But when I click East Libya, I see a heavy tank being built, see cavalry being built, and I'm seeing some double resource provinces not industrializing properly. This double coal is not getting a railroad or a harbor on it. This one does, but this coal doesn't. This steel does. That's going to hurt them in the late game. Again, no navy. That's why Toho needs to be day 18. Let's just say day 18. He's 6 days out too early. No one has time for that. But the invasion of Arabia looks like it's going well. Caucasus is also invading. You can see Caucasus building a fort right here. If I double click them, are mostly in Ukraine. And you can see actually most of their forces are here with Russia. We'll get to Russia later. Oh, Ukraine's coming in for revenge. Ukraine's still active. I told Ukraine he could fight to the last man, have fun. And Ukraine is having fun. He might get that artillery. Who knows? Libya is not industrializing properly. And again, they're building no navy. So what's going to happen is what happened in my YouTuber tournament, the 144x speed one, where we were all given every level 5 hero temporarily just for that match. And the Tohos duked it out. Now my Toho and my team's Toho won the sea. And by winning the sea, we took out capital and we held off. We just ruled the seas. And that's what's going to happen. And that's the sign that Toho is coming out too early. Because if you're just having a battle of heroes in the water, and then that one hero takes over the entire sea because no one can build that fast, then you have a real problem. The way I would have beaten Toho is I would have put in like 100 infantry right here in the sea to soak up the damage and take them out. Caucasus. So we talked about the Caucasus. They're not fully ready. Their line is kind of open here. Now they're building forts. This is technically open. That'll be interesting to see if Libya finds out and cares or not. I guess Arabia took here too. I don't know what happened there, if that was a revolt or not. But he's building up his defensive line, and it's taking him some time. He might get a level 3 fort in time. We'll see what he does. It'll be very dependent on if they can take Ukraine today and get over to Anatolia here in time, because right now Libya has a bigger army than the Caucasus. Let's see how the Caucasus is doing on the economy. Now they took over the Ottomans recently. I see a harbor here, half-built harbor here, so that should be built up. I don't know if they think they can hold Angora. They also don't have a fort here, which would be a bottleneck, but they have one here, so they could also build there. That's actually a better spot for them. But again, if their navy loses, their capital's open. Next is Russia. Double-clicking Russia. The Russian army is almost smaller than mine. What's going on, Russia? Did Ukraine get you? Oh, Ukraine got 89 of your guys. I don't see any cavalry with Russia. One. I don't know what Russia's doing, but I haven't actually looked at Russia, so let's do that. So Russia has a double steel here, no factories, and he's building a cavalry, and it's double food here, no factories or railroads. So Russia's not industrializing. Well, I see a railroad here for the oil. Russia's not industrializing, which is very Russia of you in this time period. So far, Russia is going to be the weakest of them all, because the Caucasus still had a harbor here and a railroad here. They have 4 material provinces, so the Caucasus has like a lot of resources, a lot of material resources to build up, but they're not doing that right now. Finland's industrializing. Level 4 fort. I see harbor here. I see a level 3 fort here. No factories. Factories in the coal. It's good. They're probably low on resources. And Finland's taking out Sweden. Finland's really gonna just keep on taking Sweden, which I guess that's fine. They're gonna be delayed though by doing this, because I think it's gonna take out Sweden and northern Russia. But at this point, I would have just left northern Russia. You have all of Europe to take if you wanted, and we're injured. Look at Germany's kills. He lost 155 troops. I lost 126. Austria only lost 60. That's pretty good. I'd say just looking at at this, for army and economy, Spain's doing the best. And the Navy fight is going to be interesting. Who will win? Which Toho will win? I'm glad the Caucasus built a cruiser, though. Felt like I was the only one who built a cruiser. I normally don't do this color map because I like to see my provinces and diplomacy. I would have to check it every day, but now I know and see everyone's side, so this is going to be interesting. Will Finland take out Sweden in time? Will Finland get distracted up here and take northern Russia? Another reason why you don't need northern Russia is northern Russia has 2 food resource provinces, and there's nothing wrong with food resource provinces. We're getting to the mid game, and in the mid game, steel is going to be shining and materials. And I know he has abundance of that, but he also has a food province here, so he's not broke. Russia got dinged with a secret coalition, but the moderator didn't kick him out. The moderator also can't read everyone's messages. Spain also, I've got proof, was trying a secret coalition against us, but I just got it now. So I told the guy, can't send it to me now after I've told my team to leave, because what would happen is Spain would get kicked, we're all gone, and it's just East Libya versus the rest of you. Not happening. You knew about this for days. It's 3 hours from day 14. Now at day 14, this area can be rushed. So far, I haven't seen a huge buildup where Spain's army just disembarked last night from Tunis and is rendezvousing with their battleship. Now, this is quite interesting because I can see both sides. I can see the Caucasus is coming now because the Caucasus can see this battleship. Right, here's Russia's balloon in Kenia. So they have line of sight, and you could see the Caucasus moving. Now, the Caucasus built a submarine, and they're building another one, which is quite impressive, their navy, because they need that navy. Now, we'll see what happens. If Spain can get his army to rendezvous at the same point, so you see if I click this army, you can see the arrow going to that location, and you can see they're both going to that location here with the battleship. But that's going to be 24 hours, so I don't know if he'll make it in time, because with this ship, it's 5 hours. Here, he'll be close. We'll see. The submarine is going to do a lot to Toho, but it looks like Caucasus might win the first sea battle. Now, Arabia is still getting wrapped up. See Arabia here and here. Artillery are firing at Jerusalem with a level 4 fort, and the Caucasus took more ground here. Now, these people can fight each other anytime, but they haven't yet. And the Caucasus army is successfully moving south. They still have some more troops in Ukraine, and Ukraine is about wrapped up. Let's see Ukraine's kill count. Ukraine killed 240 people. That's pretty good against 3 versus 1. And we can see Russia just shooting their position. Now, they don't see that there's no one in Kharkov, even though they're shooting at them, because Kharkov's a level 5 fort. So they may think there's a huge army here. But yeah, this is interesting to see both sides of the fight. Finland is still trying to take out Sweden, which isn't a bad strategy. Sometimes when you're in the final fight, final conflict, you could win by holding the line, playing defensive on one side, and then expanding at the other. And then you just become so big that you can win the game. When Finland's doing this, that's what I'm thinking. The southern team is building any boats, because if they aren't, they're going to completely lose the Mediterranean. No boats there, no boats there, no boats there. No boats. Okay. Bold, Spain. That's bold. So what happens if someone loses the seas? Well, all their coastline that can get bombed can get bombed, especially this capital right here. And it's so close to where the conflict is going to happen that if the Caucasus were ambitious after they won, if they win, they should go for the capital in Benghazi. Next, after the bombardments, you're going to lose positions because you can't transport troops there. For example, it would be risky to transport troops here and risky to transport troops here. Effectively abandon this position and this position. You can see Finland has troops down here too to assist the Caucasus, which is good. It's a few hours from day change. And Spain has declared war on Russia and the Caucasus. Spain is using Toho's ability right here. Interesting spot since it's hitting the submarine, but I don't know if that's an accident. I don't know actually enough about Toho's ability to comment on why he chose here, but that's interesting. You see his army with just 3 cavalry and Bueller going through. He might have to run through Romania's AI army sitting, but you can see where the arrow's going. They're going all the way to Adila. Now this is pretty bold. I'm surprised. Now, I don't know if he knows the submarine's coming, but if he doesn't, he's going to get smacked. Maybe his army might land in time, but he didn't secure the land with Toho. Toho has not bombarded this area. He has troops here. Now, I don't think he sees them coming, but Finland would have enough force if they start moving. But yeah, it's bold. It's risky. Surprise. So I could see it working. Spain is also finishing up Portugal. It's taking a while, but it's working. He's doing well. If you look at kills, Portugal's only killed 9, but he has a lot lot of troops tied up here. A lot of troops. Spain also, with Libya, allied with Greenland. Greenland is staying in the Americas. I don't know how much Greenland will be in this fight besides adding more points. If we look at their points, we'll see North Africa Coalition has 669, where the Northern EU one has 410. Libya also did declare war on the Caucasus. They took at Tanfo with their huge 33 cavalry stack, which is quite impressive. That's a lot of cavalry. And they got a heavy tank on the field. There you go, East Libya. But the Caucasus is finally building a level 3 fort here, which they need to really do. They need to build one right here too, so they're just leaving that open. But this is absolutely more important at Helib. You could see that they connect, so they could always just attack right here. They should have been building this a little bit earlier, because since it's going to take 20 hours to build, there's going to be a line of sight. And East Libya is going to be able to see this army and how big it is before it turns. The 33 cavalry may be able to take them out. The only problem is the 33 cavalry, the infantry are half health. The morale is really low, and he only has 54 infantry. He needs a lot more to accompany that amount of cavalry. But yeah, East Libya has a big army. I'm surprised they haven't really industrialized that much at all. I just see a railroad to double food here and no harbor, so they can't build a navy at all. But they may not have to build a navy. Now, the Caucasus should start fortifying this area too at Batumi, because if they have a navy, they can contain Spain and Libya. You can't cross the ocean here. You can't cross the sea here. You have to go right here. That's like your final border. But they're not at that point. Now, Russia hasn't been moving. Called foul on Ukraine for breaking with the rules, and the moderator said Ukraine didn't break the rules. Russia may have rage quit. Now, I've told the Britain he can join Finland in the Caucasus if Russia leaves. Now, I don't know what the Caucasus and Finland's attack strategy is. No one is invading the AI Germans. My old coalition agreed to go AFK for this video. No one's invading them. I thought there would be a huge rush to take out their territory. But yeah, there's no movement on the Eastern Front. So both sides just decided to focus on countries nearby and then move their forces all here to fight right here. Finland is still... Where's the Finnish army? 62 kills. Maybe they got killed. It's not good, Finland. Your artillery's open. Spain lucked out of this one. I don't know how he managed to do it. Caucasus submarine ran into that floating army Romania had, and they killed the submarine. And I believe Spain was assisting them. But that was several days ago. Now what's going on? Well, Spain and Libya are pushing through, but the Russian Caucasus Finland team is crumbling. Now Russia did quit, and Caucasus told me that Finland is quitting too. So the end is drawing near. Now Spain and Libya did a great job, but honestly, I messed up. You know, when you tweak things and you have grand visions, sometimes you should just wait. I think in hindsight, we should have just stayed where we were and not do this grand 3 versus 3, because it changes people's morale and abilities to win. And I'll learn from this. I'll talk to Squid Bois later.